Hey guys, it is me, the WildWestGamer, here with another video, just to talk about something that sort of broke my heart in a little way. Yeah, Matt Smith, the 12th Doctor, well, the 11th, the 12th, depending upon certain revelations. Yeah, Matt Smith is leaving Doctor Who, and not at the end of 2014 as it was originally announced. No, he is leaving this Christmas with the Christmas special. And yeah, wow, it was sort of. I mean, I've known now for a while. I was there. I wasn't there, but I was aware when the news broke almost immediately, because everyone started like texting me, and I was getting Facebook messages about it and stuff like that. Um, wow, it's really weird. You don't. Matt Smith had the unenviable position of being not only the youngest actor to pick up the role of the Doctor, which of course caused great scrutiny because a lot of people thought he'd be too inexperienced and immature to play the role. He also was following David Tennant, who, as most people who watch the show will remember, was probably one of the fondest Doctors ever. He was very, very popular, especially with the ladies. But of course, David Tennant and Billie Piper, who played Rose Tyler, one of his, greatest assistants, had great chemistry on screen. There was a great story between them. This whole, fantastic love element between them about, the fact they clearly loved each other. They just never admitted it. And of course, there was that very heartbreaking moment where Rose was separated from the Doctor in the parallel dimension, which, was probably one of the greatest moments of the rebirth of Doctor Who that has been. So Matt Smith had to follow on from David Tennant, probably most people's favourite Doctor, and he did a bloody good job. He's done a really good job. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw Matt Smith take over from David Tennant, and the TARDIS is on fire, and he's there wearing David Tennant's clothes, and his hair's all floppy, and he's looking a bit, sort of a bit, I'm like, oh, great, this preppy sort of character steps forward, and as he goes down, he sort of shouts Geronimo. I was like, oh, fuck, this is gonna be shit. And then one episode, I was hooked. I was like, you know what, mate, you pass for me. I really liked it. He perfectly encapsulated who the Doctor was, and what's really important is the fact that he brought with the Doctor probably the most world weary Doctor we've seen, whilst at the same time the most just fantastically joyous one. He was the Doctor that sort of completely encapsulated who the Doctor was. We saw with Matt Smith's Doctor he's now at his oldest. He's now over 1,000 years old. He's now over a millennium old. He's a millennium old? I don't know. He's very old though. He's seen a lot. He's done a lot. And Matt Smith played that age very well. You always knew, but beneath this young man will beat the hearts of see what I did there? Beat the hearts of this being that had been through almost everything that had ever happened in one way or another, by jumping around in time. But what was fantastic was, with the body of a younger man, he was able to have this fantastic energy of a younger man. And the two of them were fantastic, because what you would do is, in moments of sort of lightheartedness, you would get him being very energetic and very mobile, and then in moments of quite somber seriousness, the older Doctor would come through in his performance, and the darker, more angrier Doctor would come through. And Matt Smith was very good. He managed to make me believe, just with changing his voice, just slightly for a bit more harsher tone. He made me believe that there was this ageless, being of destruction, which was the Doctor. That he would, if you wronged him or his friends, or hurt people, or were cruel or evil, he would rain vengeance upon you. He wouldn't take up arms. He would not lead armies. He would do it himself, and he would do it just by being clever. and he would make you suffer the most he could. And that wouldn't be because he wanted to. It would be because it would be the right thing to do. It would be justice being enacted. And Matt Smith really did that. Really, really did it. I just loved him. He also was very quite an emotion filled performance as well for the Doctor, because of course we've seen him confront himself probably a lot more. There have been a lot of episodes about the Doctor really hating himself. There was the one where the TARDIS released the Doctor's darker persona out into the TARDIS, and that played games with the Doctor and with Amy Pond and the other guy, Rory. That's it. I shouldn't forget Rory, one of my favourite assistants. Played games with him. Likewise, the conclusion of the most recent episode, which I'm not going to spoil, but of course that's very sort of seminal for the whole sort of idea about the Doctor disliking himself. And also the Doctor also facing. Matt Smith's had to deal with the Doctor facing loss a lot more than he normally does. He's had assistants throughout the series constantly die. There was the whole dealio with Clara. She kept dying but coming back, and this was, the Doctor was not keen on seeing this. It was quite horrible, and it sort of asked more questions than it answered. Likewise, he had to see the leave of Amy and Rory, who again he was very fond of, because Amy of course helped him through his transition from Tennant to Smith, and was there with him through that. And likewise, she'd known him all her life, so he was her Doctor. And of course, then there was River Song, his wife, who he probably had the most unorthodox marriage with ever. And the fact was that he again was, every time they bumped into each other, it was always meant a moment of great tragedy and suffering through both of their lives, and they were both the sort of the savior of one another as well as the destruction of one another. And this is just stuff that really was just really, really good about Matt Smith's Doctor. I mean, Tennant and Eccleston's Doctors, don't get me wrong, were fantastic in their own way. But I think a lot of what made their Doctors great was the enemies they faced and the characters they interacted with. Matt Smith's Doctor has always been about him, about the Doctor. It's very personal. It's about him facing his demons. And his secrets and his past, and I really think that's important. I mean, as the Doctor gets to his oldest point he's been at in the shows, as we come up to the 50th anniversary, and as the idea of the Doctor's life running down comes to this conclusion. It's really important that the Doctor deals with the darkness of his life, and Matt Smith has done it beautifully. So I think that he deserves a big congratulations for it. And I'm not angry at all. Well, some people have been angry that he's jumping ship. He's not jumping ship. He's leaving. He has a right to leave. He's a young guy. He's got a big career. And what's nice is the fact that, whereas in the past actors have used the show as a stepping stone, he genuinely loved his time, and he's been so positive about it, and he's had such great interaction with the fans, and he's been to conventions. He's done all of that. Really good. And he'll probably be for a long time one of my favourite Doctors. Just because you can't really say why a Doctor is your favourite Doctor. It's the Doctor you have. Some people can go through 3, 4, 5 Doctors, and there's always one that stands out for them. Perhaps it's because it's the Doctor that you most feel relates to you, or is how you would deal with things in his position. I can't say honestly, I really can't, but all I can say is Matt Smith was genuinely fantastic as the Doctor. And now, of course, it's just a speculation who will be the next one. I don't mind who the next one is, but I'm going to put this down here right now so it's clear. Oh, you dumbass motherfuckers. Oh, you idiots. You're going, oh, it should be a woman, it should be a woman. It's so sexist, it's not a woman. No, right, let me put this out there for you and let me make it clear. There are Time Lords. Yeah? Well, no, there are Time Lords. Time Lords are both women and men. That is the race, the Time Lords. The law does not specify male or female. It specifies their position with regard to their species. You know, they're the pinnacle they hold, which is the Time Lords. They are Lords of Time. Their role is that. Yes? Is that clear? It's not they're Time Lords because they're men. You know, it's not like, you know, the women are time bitches or time, you know, hoes or anything like that. They are Time Lords as well. So that settles that. I don't hear any more of this time women and time lords. It's all time ladies. Sounds dumb as fuck. Time Lords, alright? Until it's established in the canon they're time ladies, don't want to hear it. Time Lords. Now, the Time Lords, the way it works, you have males, you have women. The men regenerate into men, the women regenerate into women. I know there's this whole spiel about people going, oh, well, sometimes he says he's lucky if he ends up with a head. The Doctor has regenerated 12 times. Yes? And every single time he is regenerated back into the form of a humanoid. Yes? A humanoid male. It would be ridiculous to go for this regeneration. It breaks all of that and does a lady. I tell you what, fuck it, let's just do a dog or an ostrich or a fucking camel. No! He regenerates back into men. If you had a female Time Lord, and we could sort of have, River Song, remember, she was a human, but she had the ability to regenerate due to, you know, her exposure to the time vortex as a baby. She could regenerate, but every time she regenerated into a woman. That's how it works. You couldn't have a race. It would be fucked up. How would the race ever work? You would have children who would regenerate into, you know, girls that regenerate into boys and boys into girls and dads into mums and, you know, aunties into uncles. It would be fucked. It would never work. You could never have a genuine, like, sort of constructive civilization. It would just be completely fucking chaotic. You know, because you can't tell me that all Time Lords are, like, you know, bisexual. Yeah, you can't tell me they're all going to fancy, you know, everyone else regardless or whatever. You know, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, it just doesn't. I'm not going to get into this whole sort of political correctness spiel about it. People going, oh, it should be a woman because, you know, it's very sexist, whatever. No, all right, shut the fuck up, sit down. It's also people who have no fucking interest in science fiction. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and sit down, alright? It's not like it's like a fucking whites only club or something for Doctor Who. We know you can have black Time Lords. You can have other ethnic minorities as Time Lords. Fuck's sake, isn't that enough? Fuck no, we gotta go and change the basics of the fucking character. And people, you think nowadays you can't say shit like this without people getting all fucking up in your face and, oh, you're sexist, you're this, you're that. Fuck off, alright? Just fuck off. If you want a female Time Lord, fucking get hold of Stephen Moffat and say, I would like you to do a prequel series before the Time Lords were wiped out about a female Time Lord. There you go. Fucking have it, alright? You can have that. That can be yours. Do with it what you want. But just don't fucking come and change one of the most iconic science fiction characters of ever. It's like saying, oh, I want Jean-Luc Picard to be a woman. Why? I just do. But that makes no sense. I know, but I just want it to be. I want Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek Next Generation to be a woman. Okay, well, that would be shit. I know, but just do it because, you know, it's not fair that he's a man. It's exactly the same with Doctor Who. Just because you can regenerate doesn't mean you can change the function of a regeneration. It just changes him from a man into another man. Now, I personally would like to see a Black Doctor. I would. I think a Black Doctor would work very well. Apart from being the fact that we've never had a Black Doctor, I think it would be. I think it would certainly. Well, it would just be good to see. I think I would like a Black Doctor. There is, of course, the gentleman who was in The Hustle. I forget his name. He would be really, really good. For those of you who watch The Hustle on BBC TV, you know what I'm talking about. There's a whole host of actors who I'd really love to see play the Doctor, but I don't want to play that game because it's just once you start doing that, you start really convincing yourself, or you know, you just start really going off on one, trying to, driving yourself nuts. But if I was there, I would like to see a black doctor. I think it would be cool. I think that there's been a lot said, people going, well, why if the doctor can regenerate into sort of any configuration of a man, why not? Why has he always been a white dude? Fair question, fair point. Listen, we live in a multicultural society nowadays. We live in a society that is meant to be equal. Let's have it. Let's have a, or perhaps, an Asian doctor or whatever. But, let's do something. Let's do something new. Let's see, let's make the doctor this being of, truth and freedom and all that good jazz. Let's make him, let's make him a little bit more 21st century, shall we? So there you have it, guys. That was my sort of thoughts and opinions about Matt Smith, as well as my rant about this whole controversy surrounding having a female doctor. No, it just wouldn't work, I'm afraid, and I think you would find people really turning off. I mean, there was this whole thing in the paper. We had in our paper here, our tabloids, that Paris Jackson wanted to play the Doctor. No. I know currently at the moment she's going through a whole load of shit. She tried committing suicide or whatever, but that aside, no. Of all the people in the world, it's like saying I want Paris Hilton to play the Doctor. God, that just makes me want to fucking die. Just thinking about it, it just would be awful. So no, don't take one of the most beloved characters in science fiction and just shit them up. All right, that's it. So thanks very much, guys, for watching. If you agree or disagree, leave a comment. I'd love to get more of the Whovians involved. Say what you think, and I will see you later, guys. And keep watching the skies. That was X-Files. See you later, guys. Bye.